For the month of April, I decided to do a 30 days of cleaning, organizing, and resetting. It actually turned into spring cleaning, organizing, and resetting because I got realistic and realized that I probably wasn't going to upload 30 days of videos. Anyway, where did I get that inspiration? Well, I took a trip. Look at all the colorful things that I'm packing. Can you guess where I'm going? Palm Springs. That's right, you guys. I'm going to a creators conference that this will be my 4th time attending and my 3rd time speaking. Yes, sometimes I speak in public. I actually really enjoy it. This time, though, I'm not doing a solo talk. I did a solo talk the last time. This time, I am collaborating with my daughter and a friend, and we're doing a workshop on a more mindful approach to content creation. Me offering my daughter some comic relief after we had a pretty tumultuous morning. We got all the way to TSA when my daughter realized that she left her ID at home, a 45-minute drive. Actually, she didn't even realize that she left it at home. She thought she had lost it. She thought someone had stolen it. We made it through TSA without the ID. That's a whole process. Crazy. But by the time we got to the gate had closed and we could see the plane. We waved at it. And then we spent another 3 hours in the airport waiting for another flight. We arrived a few hours later than we were supposed to, and we were famished. So once we got our rental car, we had to stop at In-N-Out because that's what you do.
I mean, I just turned right onto Washington and go to, what is it?
I think that she's a little nervous, but...
I mean, I'll do it. I'll adapt, but it just,
I can wait. I'm gonna help her drive the whole way.
I go to the 405 to the 10 to 91, so,
There you go. You know how to say it at least.
Gotta go to the 405 to the 10. What are you doing? What are you doing? Oh my God.
this almost makes up for me missing our flight.
Yeah.
Thank you for telling me. Life happens.
Oh my God. These fries.
Mm-hmm.
Who keeps telling you that?
You and Daddy said that, and Darnell said that. Gotta get them extra crispy, or what did you say? Extra well done.
Extra well done. Mm-hmm.
Yep. Because
Listen to that crunch.
are normally soggy.
Mm. They don't even need ketchup. Oh my goodness. That's a new hack unlocked for me. For those of you who may not know, I am an LA girl. I was born and raised in South Central Los Angeles. And I was today years old, or at least the day of the filming of this video, when I realized that you could order In-N-Out fries, extra well done, or even well done, and they make them crispy. For years, I have been going for the burgers, and I would just leave the fries in the little container. If you like soggy fries, their fries are for you. But if you don't, order them well done or extra well done. You will not regret it. I don't normally eat like this in my videos, but this was a moment, you guys. I just wanted to share. So because I medicate to fly, I was in no condition to drive the 2 hours to Palm Springs from LAX. So baby girl took the wheel. And she's a great driver, but she learned how to drive on the East Coast, even though she is also from Los Angeles. And this was her first time really tackling the highways in LA. We come from a long line of drivers, so I wasn't too worried. We stayed at the Kimpton Rowan Hotel, which was probably perfect. Like, we couldn't have chosen a more perfect, centrally located hotel in Palm Springs. We literally could walk out of the building to the Starbucks. it was just perfection. There was also a Sephora and an H&M like within steps of the hotel. This is the restaurant at the top of the building. I have eaten here before, but we didn't eat here on this trip. I find that a lot of the restaurants in Palm Springs for dinner are, as the kids would say, mid. I wasn't all that impressed by the food here the last time I came, and so I didn't bother to eat here again. I have very specific spots that I typically like to eat, where I typically like to eat in Palm Springs. But the restaurant that is attached to the hotel downstairs, where you can get breakfast and lunch, I think you can get dinner there too. That restaurant was good. They had this salmon avocado toast. My daughter got a regular avocado toast. I shared my salmon with her because it was a lot of salmon. And this is just a cute little restaurant called the Juniper Table. They have fresh juices, vegetarian options, gluten-free options. The food tasted really fresh and it was very tasty. So I will add this to my list of Palm Springs restaurants that I actually like. So this is the first full day of the conference, and this is also the day that we speak later on in the day. I decided to just wear something somewhat casual but colorful to attend the morning's classes, and then plan is to change for my presentation after lunch. Palm Springs, I absolutely love Palm Springs. If I could live anywhere else but where I live now, the Palm Springs area is like top 2, maybe even number 1. I would love to be bi-coastal and have property here because it's just so beautiful. It gets really hot in the summer though, so I don't think that I would be able to do summers in Palm Springs, but I definitely would enjoy the colder months. And of course, spring and fall are very good times to visit here. So the name of the conference that I'm attending is called Altitude Summit or Alt Summit, and it's been going on for years. It was in New York, it was in Utah, and for several years it's been in Palm Springs. This is my 4th time attending. I attended in 2018, 2019, and 2020 right before a lockdown. There was, I do believe, a small conference for like one day in 2021 in New York, I think, or maybe that was 2022. And then they had another one in 2023. This year's conference is almost back to full swing. It's at least where I started. I started where we had one hotel where we attended and everything was in that hotel. The Saguaro, which is the most colorful hotel in Palm Springs. The first year that I attended, the whole conference was in this hotel. I didn't stay in this hotel. The second year I attended, the conference was in 4 different hotels. And I stayed here because this was the main hotel. Yes, this was the main hotel. And then the last time I attended, there were 3 hotels that we traveled between to do conference things. And I stayed at the main one again. I do prefer to stay at the hotel where everything is happening, but the Saguaro is more of a party vibe type of hotel. It gets used a lot, and I wanted something that was a little quieter and a little more upscale. So that's why we opted for the Kimpton Rowan instead. So I was able to attend a couple of sessions before lunch and before I had to go change for my own session. It's so crazy because whenever you are planning to present at any conference or speak, you really can't relax until that part is over. So I wanted to get it done and then be able to enjoy the conference, but I still attended a couple of cool sessions. One was about aging as a content creator. It was really interesting.
Everybody was like, 55, double nickels, how you feeling about that? Or, oh, baby's leaving, everybody was like, it's time to start drinking. And I looked around at my friends, and they were like, launching podcasts, and writing best-selling books, and producing Broadway plays, and just starting to do this stuff. And we were all around the same age, and I'm like, what is that about? Like, what is it? What is that sort of story that, okay, women are supposed to get smaller and everything else, and then the reality is that wasn't happening. And what I found was that it's designed to be that way. Like, it's capitalist patriarchy. Like it always is. Literally, because, as they say, when they can prove to you that you need to anti-age, they've got a customer for life. Like it's literally baked in to society for us to fear aging and fear getting older, because then we'll spend trillions, literally trillions of dollars trying to fight it. And once you know that, it's sort of like Neo taking the blue pill. Like you can't see it anymore, right? Like you're like, oh, wait a minute, right? So I think like all of it about, oh, well, your beauty's going to fade. Like what the, who made that up, right? Like, or what, like all of the things, everything that you've ever heard about aging that is negative is designed to make you feel like you've got to behave a certain way, do a certain way, and spend lots of money, right?
When it was time to present our workshop, my good friend Fifi from Divine Hostess, she did a guided visualization to get the class in the right mindset.
Music, but something that says, okay, this is my time to shut everything out and create. And so for this visualization, you don't have to close your eyes, but it could be helpful. You don't have to lie down, but it could be helpful. I just want to take you through an exercise of kind of letting go of everything else that's going on in your day.
My baby girl talked about routines and how they can help you create more mindfully as well.
You have your hand up too? I promise you guys can do it.
Yeah, I actually thought you said a dating routine.
Oh.
I was like, yeah, we're good at dating every Friday night.
I'll go over that. My normal morning routine, typically wake up, wash my face, brush my teeth, make my bed, get breakfast, start work. That's it. Ideal is gonna be a little bit more in depth, workout, do my Pilates. I'm a Pilates princess, so. Get a nice healthy breakfast, not a quick one. And then, get to work, do some deep work that day. And then my quick one is if I'm running out of the house. I actually have been doing that one a lot lately. So when I'm just not feeling myself, feeling in a funk, and I don't really want to do anything. And I might just I think they call it bed rotting now. Bed rotting.
And my little mini workshop was about, you guessed it, creating the space to create, having your ideal creation space, because you need that if you're going to be a creator or a crafter or a baker, whatever it is that you do. You need to have the ideal space in which to do it.
9 months, I've been living in a construction zone because we built our house in a subdivision and other houses were being built. And I can't get anything done, you guys. Like they come and they start banging at 7 o'clock in the morning and they don't leave until 7 o'clock at night. So for me, the ideal space right now is one that is just no noise. If I can just have a space that's quiet, you know what I mean? But I'm teaching this workshop, but I don't even have my ideal space yet. But what I do know is how to put a room together. And so that's what I'm working on now, how to put a room together. And I think that when you talk about mindful content creation, if you've got chaos and confusion all around you, you can't be at your optimal. Sometimes we think it's about like, oh, I need to batch create and I need to be able to put all these images out on social media and blah, 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 blah. And I don't know if you're like me, but have you ever, I don't know how many people do video here. Does anybody do video? Have you ever had to like move to another part so that people couldn't see the background? You're filming your video and it's like, oh wait, I don't want to put that out. You want to be able to have a space to create, whether it's art, whether you do yoga, whatever. You want to have that space that speaks to you. I mean, you said everything. Your sanctuary, whether it's, everything matters. What things smell like, the colors, the fabrics that you touch,
This space of having my bedroom is also my workspace. My bed is immense as well as the rec room is
But sometimes you have to do it.
But I have an empty bedroom in our house because of the daughter away at university. She mostly doesn't come home, and I'm like, but she's so emotionally attached to that space. And meanwhile, if it's very much her, would you have any or anybody know any suggestions as to like how to take over that space?
I really enjoyed speaking, but I was so glad it was over because once it was over, I could really enjoy the conference. And I did. I had a really good time. I met a whole lot of cool people. I found the whole environment to be really inspiring, as I always do. You could be making video, talking to your phone, talking to your camera. Nobody looked at you like you were crazy. It was just great to be around a bunch of other creative women, creative people doing really cool things. Artists, florists, entrepreneurs, just women really trying to vibe with other women, to network, to just relax and let our hair down and be girls. Nobody was judging anyone's clothing or anybody's choice of profession. No one looked at you crazy when you said you were a content creator or an influencer. It was really nice. And y'all, those churros were amazing. I'm always thinking about food. El Jefe in the Saguaro has some of the best Mexican food, the best tacos. I love their food. I could eat there every day. And I actually did the second year that I went. We ate there the whole time because there was always something good on the menu. And Chelsea, who's gluten-free, she even got to enjoy churros because they do gluten-free churros. It's very strange, but El Jefe is my favorite restaurant in Palm Springs. And I love that over the past 4 years, it really hasn't changed. It's only gotten better. They did used to do gluten-free pancakes, though, and they don't do those anymore. For the evening of the first full day, or the second day, actually, of the conference, there was a floral party, which I didn't get to change for because I had already changed once and I wasn't changing again. The third day of the conference, we attended more sessions, but I really felt like I didn't get to attend as many as I would have liked. Still, it was really lovely to see just all of the women there and all of the creativity. I can't express this enough. And it really inspired me. It really made me want to create more as well. And that's typically what happens when I go to Alt Summit. I reset. I get inspired. I have all these ideas. And it's a way to recharge your battery and really focus on what you want to be as a content creator. There's an energy that's just so hard to describe. It's almost one of those situations where it's like you have to be there to understand. But when you see all of these women doing all these cool creative things, and you also realize the level of creativity that you possess, it's just inspiring. I really wish I could put it in a bottle and sell it, this feeling. I wish it's something that I could just hand to people and share with them, because there's just no other feeling like it for me as an artist. Our last full day was filled with more sessions and talks. I got some great tips as far as being an entrepreneur and some great tips when it comes to content creation. I attended one workshop by a young lady named Christina. I cannot think of her last name right now, but I did purchase her book. I will pop it in here somewhere. She talked about how they don't like you and how mean people can be on social media and how to navigate that. And that really helped me a lot because I struggle sometimes on social media. And because I'm a content creator and I spend so much time in this space, it gets really frustrating sometimes and it makes you want to give up. Kind of like she did. She just gave up. But seriously, I learned a lot. I wish that I could have attended more of the solo talks. I missed one of my favorite TikTokers, Sheldon from This Is It TV, who I was standing next to. I missed her talk because it was packed. And of course it was because she's amazing. I'll pop her information here. And there were a couple of other things that I wish that I could have done. One cool thing that I did get to do, though, on the second to the last day or the last full day was I got to go to Market Palm Springs, which is a consignment shop in Palm Springs. And I'll be honest with you, whenever I'm shopping in thrift stores or consignment shops, places like this, it can be very overwhelming for me. I just don't think straight. I see lots of cool things. I want everything, but then I'm also a little nervous about the things because they're pre-loved and pre-owned. And I kind of feel like sometimes when you go into vintage stores or consignment shops or thrift stores, I don't know, there's energy on objects. I didn't get that here, though. I didn't get the energy on objects thing. I got that there were just a lot of cool things that I wanted to take home, and I could not figure out how I could fit them in my luggage. I actually have a formal event to attend at the end of the month, and there were some formal clothing items here that if I were thinking straight, I would have at least tried on because I actually need a dress. But no lie, when I walked through the doors, my brain just, for some reason, just doesn't think. I'm not a good shopper. Like, I'm not someone who shops well in person. I do much better online. Because when I walk into a store, I want everything. And all, like, logic goes out the window. There were a lot of beautiful, like, mid-century modern pieces here. Here's a piece of artwork that I did not notice when I walked in the door, but I really wish that I had seen the price on it and figured out a way to get it home because I love architectural pieces of artwork, architectural drawings, things like that. It was really interesting just to look at the different types of furniture, clothing, and I bought nothing for myself. Well, I did get some matchboxes because I want to do some shadow box art with matchboxes, with vintage like matches or matchboxes. So I did get those. But actually, the only thing that I walked out of here with, because I really couldn't get it together, you guys. I don't know why I'm staring at y'all. I really couldn't get it together. The only thing that I walked out of here with was like, I think 5 like vintage albums for my hubby because he is restarting or rebuilding his album collection that he had to sell back in the day when we needed the money. I want to contribute to that in any way that I can. And I actually did find some really good albums. I got Whitney Houston. I got a Rick James album. A Prince album, Around the World in a Day, which is probably not one of his more famous albums, but I know all the words to the songs on that one. And Stevie Wonder, which he loves Stevie Wonder. But I definitely could have tried on a couple of these like vintage looking evening outfits. They are in a color palette that I wouldn't mind wearing, although a couple of them looked a little small for me, but still it never occurred to me. I just looked at them and I kept walking. Like, I have to do better, you guys. If I don't go into like a thrift store or a consignment shop or really any store, to be very honest with you, with a plan, There's no logic there. It's just nothing, either nothing comes of it or too much comes of it. Usually though, it's just vibes, as the kids say. We did end up at a Thai restaurant, which it was not the move. I'm not even going to mention the restaurant here. If you know it, just pretend like I never said anything. I really wanted to go back to El Jefe, to be very honest with you. So I didn't eat very much the last night. But I did have a really good coffee the next day at this coffee shop called Coffee. And for whatever reason, I didn't film that. And I'm still not sure why. I don't know why I have so much footage of us here at the Thai restaurant, because I love Thai food, but I am also spoiled because I had a Thai neighbor who used to make me authentic Thai food. And this was anything but. And unfortunately, it was a meal wasted because I really could have used more gluten-free churros. So the last day of the conference, we did roundtables and then headed back to LA. And I went to my favorite hotel in LA, Short Stories, which is right across the street from the Grove, which is my second favorite place in LA. I did not even go visit any family or anything. I know I'm really bad at that. When I come to LA, I'm usually here for a short time, and I'm on a mission. I like to go to the Grove. I usually only get to see my two really good friends. One I grew up with. We've known each other since we were little kids. And the other one is like a sister. They're both like sisters, but we went to school together. And I didn't get to see either one of them because I had a total brain fart. I really said that, didn't I? Wow. I wasn't allowed to say that when I was a kid, so that felt kind of liberating. But I did. I had a brain cramp, let's call it that, and totally mixed up the dates that I was supposed to be in LA. And it was just a mess. But I stayed at this beautiful hotel, which has given me all of the inspiration. It always gives me inspiration. I've stayed here twice now, and every time I walk through the doors, if I leave and I come back, I'm just in awe of how they've just made this little oasis that is right on the main street, right across from the Grove. If you've never been to LA or you've never been to the Grove, it is the luxury shopping destination in LA. There are a couple of others as well. I do believe, I don't know if it's the West Side Pavilion. One of the other malls has turned into a Grove type situation as well. I've been told. I have not gone there. Literally, I come here because this hotel, the Grove, is just a few miles away from where I went to school, and this area was kind of my old stomping grounds. I worked at a Kentucky Fried Chicken not too far away from the hotel in the Grove right when I graduated high school. And it's just an area of the city that I have spent a lot of time in, and I like it here. It's not very far from Melrose. We didn't make it to Melrose, though. And my daughter was not happy about that because we were definitely supposed to go there. But we didn't make it to Melrose because I got to see my little bean. I got to spend time with my little bean. And you guys know, if you've been around, how much this means to me. But he spent the night with us, and he's talking in complete paragraphs, and he's such a big boy. And he loves fruit, and he's a jokester, and I'm so happy to see him. I spent most of the day before and the whole day just kissing his cheeks and hugging him and just letting him know that his Grammy loves him. Just a side note, I think the reconciliation is starting and we are talking to each other again, and it feels really good. And just pray for us, as I will pray for you all as well. So if you haven't been to the Grove, here's a glimpse of the Grove. They're getting a new Gucci store soon. I love to come here because they have the biggest Barnes & Noble. I won't say that I've ever been to. Actually, the biggest Barnes & Noble that I'd ever been to or have gone to was in Baltimore. But that one is no longer there. They have managed to maintain this one. And it's pretty big, which you'll see in a minute. But I just want to show you guys how people always blame parents for when kids do things. Like, it's always the parents' fault, right? Kids are easily influenced by other kids. This is just something that happened while I was showing baby boy the fountain. Now, as you can see, originally he was just looking at the water, but now he's trying to climb up. And that's because there's another little boy who climbed up on the railing. So now he wants to climb up there too. And it's not that he's a follower, that kids are followers. It's that oftentimes we as humans don't know the possibility of something until we see someone else do it. New ideas, new journeys, new found courage is being unlocked in us every day. You don't know what you can have or what you can do until you see it sometimes. Sometimes we dream, but now he is intent on trying to find a way to get around to the water, because now he's thinking, there is a possibility. He really did try to get in there, you guys. I really had to take him away. But yeah. And look at this little bathroom for little kids. They have a family bathroom in the Grove. The Grove is so bougie. By the way, if you're looking for a good place to have breakfast in LA or at the Grove, Dupar's is really good. It's very tasty. This is what they have for the kids' hot cakes for Easter. I made sure little man didn't get all of that sugar. So after we ate breakfast and went to the fountain, TT and her nephew decided to sit out, and I went to get us drinks from Barnes & Noble. And you know, it's a bookstore, so I had to explore. Look at this Barnes & Noble, you guys. I'm not even going to voice over it. I'm just going to let you vibe. So that was my trip, you guys. I got to see the grandson. I got to get inspired. And that inspiration made me want to come home and create. And coming home to create made me want to get organized. So that's how I got inspired to do my April spring cleaning, because I really want to put myself in the most ideal space to be able to create the most ideal content. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you're interested in creator conferences, leave me a comment if you have any questions or you want to know more. Alt Summit is wonderful for creators and even for entrepreneurs and people who aren't creative. So I'm going to leave you with just some photos from our week. And also, I didn't mention that I also got to see my niece, who is actually another one of my twins. My daughter's my twin, and so is my niece. We're triplets. I got to see her as well, and I'm so happy because I haven't seen her in a minute. All right, you guys, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.